Can Mazda elevate the humble compact car? In this episode, we take a closer look at the all-new Mazda3 Hatchback, now with all-wheel drive. It's coming up on Driving Sports TV. With the 2019 Mazda 3, the company is trying to push the brand into premium territory. The artsy marketing, trim packages, and even the new corporate typeface all reflect that. It's a risky move for the small Japanese carmaker who built their reputation with the playful "Zoom Zoom" tagline. This is the new 2019 Mazda 3 Hatchback, featuring bold lines reminiscent of Mazda's current show cars, but packaged in full production trim. Styling of the back is, bold. The model we're testing today is the premium package with all-wheel drive. The new Mazda 3 Hatch starts at $23,600. Price as you see it here, $31,930. Under the hood of every 2019 Mazda 3 is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder Skyactiv G engine that produces up to 186 horsepower with equal torque. It also features variable valve timing and cylinder deactivation to improve economy. With the standard 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive, the EPA rates this setup at 32 miles to the gallon on the highway and 24 around town. You can buy a Mazda 3 with a manual transmission. However, that is limited to only one trim, the front-wheel drive premium hatchback. Like with so many other car makers, all-wheel drive is currently an automatic-only affair. This premium model came with a number of upscale features, like LED headlights and taillights, leather-trimmed 8-way power seats with heat, a heads-up display, power moonroof, and paddle shifters. This builds on the feature set that were already included in the lower preferred trim, which already had the 12-speaker Bose sound system and body-colored mirrors with integrated indicators. Mazda's signature color, Soul Red, which is quite appealing, adds $595 to the bottom line. The awkward elongation of the rear roofline on the hatchback does provide some benefits over the sedan model. With the second row in place, you're looking at up to 20.1 cubic feet of cargo capacity, which is slightly less than the Subaru Impreza wagon and 2 cubic feet smaller than the Volkswagen Golf. With the second row folded down, you're looking at 47.1 cubic feet of total storage capacity. The Subaru Impreza has way more at over 55 cubic feet. That small area really makes itself known when you try to stuff a full-size adult into the second row. For me, it was on the snug side. Fine for short trips, but not much more. For the most part, the interior does a pretty good job of looking like a premium offering. It's a sparse yet usable design, with quality leather in all the key touch points. But it's not quite all the way there. Not yet. The central 8.8-inch Mazda Connect infotainment system uses a fairly low-quality LCD panel and graphics processors. Yes, it is color, and it does support Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto, in addition to Maps, XM satellite radio, and all that. But the colors are limited, which results in artwork with limited color palette. This is most evident in gradients, which have an ugly stepped pattern. Almost every other car in this price point has a panel that looks better. The central controller is similar to what you would get in an Audi or BMW, but here it lacks the touch and gesture inputs you would find on those other systems. Mazda also continues to cover high-use areas in piano black plastics, which look great when brand new, but look awful within a few thousand miles of normal use. Wood, metals, or pretty much anything else would wear better. Kia has been very smart to move away from piano black plastics in recent years. Mazda should do the same. The main gauge cluster features a mix of analog and digital displays. The design sticks to just the essentials, yet it does provide all the key information necessary at a glance. Every Mazda 3 hatchback does come with a nice lineup of standard active safety tech: anti-collision, blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alerts, driver attention alert, and radar-based adaptive cruise control with full support for stop and go definitely gives the competition a run for the money. Now let's see how it all comes together. We'll start with a 0 to 60. And 3, 2, 1, go. Pedal down. Oh, that's slow to take up. 30, 40, 50, and it's slow to 60, 60. 9 seconds from pedal down is pretty slow. However, as the Miata has shown us time and time again, you don't need a lot of horsepower to be fun to drive. Even though the new Mazda 3 includes torsion beam suspension in the rear instead of a more complicated and performance-oriented multi-link setup, it still drives surprisingly well. This is largely thanks to a system Mazda calls Skyactiv Vehicle Dynamics with G Vectoring Control Plus. Let me explain. This software system simulates what racers do when they enter a corner. It shifts weight to the front wheels so the tires can do their work more effectively. It's subtle, but it makes a big difference in cornering ability. In the new Mazda 3, the vehicle monitors speed, throttle, and steering angle. When it detects a corner is about to happen, it retards spark timing just enough to reduce power and increase front tire load. On exit, it then shifts power to the back wheels. This overall improves cornering ability. It basically makes everyone a better driver by emulating what the pros spent an entire lifetime perfecting, but in software. It's subtle and an important part of what makes the Mazda 3 such a great handling compact car. It's doing all this stuff under the chassis, and I'm not really feeling it. I just feel like I'm a better driver in this car. And that's pretty cool. Actually, that's really cool. Now let's talk about the all-wheel drive system. The hardware is very similar in setup to the CX-5, which we reviewed earlier. As a refresher, it's basically a drive shaft running to the back wheels with a clutch pack to control the front to rear engagement. They do have what sounds like fancy software to proactively engage the system, to make it work best based on current driver inputs. But like the CX-5, it relies on brake-based power distribution. It does not channel torque like a proper torque vectoring system. The all-wheel drive package only adds 173 pounds to the mix. At 3,255 pounds, it's still not overall as light as a Subaru Impreza, which weighs 120 pounds less. But the extra 34 horsepower over the Impreza takes the Mazda 3 a little deeper into the fun-to-drive zone. It's still not particularly fast, but the little Mazda hatch is a great momentum driver. This also comes with adaptive cruise control, which seems to be the big thing to put onto all cars these days. Basically, I hit that, we'll set our pacing for the vehicle in front of us, and it should basically auto-steer for us. It does a decent job, up until it doesn't. It doesn't really do lane centering, let's just be honest here. This is to help you out. It is nowhere near even first level semi-autonomous setup. It does an okay job though. I mean, to reduce fatigue on a long trip, it's definitely not for autopiloting the car. That's for sure. There aren't a lot of mainstream all-wheel drive hatchbacks. The most likely competition would come from the Subaru Impreza, which dominates the north part of the US. And the other competition would probably come from the Volkswagen Golf, which features great driving dynamics and a premium interior, though it does not have all-wheel drive. Yes, I know you can get a Golf R with all-wheel drive, but at nearly $40,000, it puts it out of contention for Mazda 3 cross-shopping. Given the options, I'd personally go with the Volkswagen or the Subaru over this Mazda. And I have owned several Mazdas, including a 40th anniversary RX-8, a first-gen RX-7, a couple of Miatas, and my wife currently drives a 2004 Mazda 3 that we bought brand new in 2004, and it is due to be replaced soon. For as much as I like Mazdas in general, I think the Volkswagen Golf actually provides a better driving experience for the money, and Subaru offers better all-wheel drive and advanced safety thanks to their top-notch EyeSight system. Still, if you want a compact car with all-wheel drive for light snow use, and you love the polarizing design of the new Mazda 3 hatch, it really does have some great features. I'm just not sure I'd jump into the premium package. Honestly, for $32,000, I could get a Subaru Impreza WRX with all-wheel drive, a 268 horsepower engine, and a nice manual transmission. But I understand that's not for everyone. Also, the WRX is currently not available as a hatchback, so there's that. Once you look at what the new Mazda 3 offers in the lower trim levels, I think it's a lot more desirable. Going with a base trim hatch with all-wheel drive still gets you the same engine, the same transmission, and really remarkable driving dynamics. Plus, you get keyless entry and some other niceties, and it starts at $25,000. For me, that is a great option. But even there, competition is tough, so be sure you drive all the other options before pulling the trigger. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Do you think the new Mazda 3 is worth the money? Or would you get something else? Post your comment below. Also, please like and share our videos. I think coming up next week, we have the 2020 Kia Telluride. I take it off-roading. We'll see you then.